All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
See if we can. All right, Shalom. All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and as well as their elders, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. And there's a couple of brothers from the Great Millstone Houston camp or church. Let me make sure I'm sharing my screen. All right, cool. All right, and I'm the brother Korah Abad. And as always, we got the beloved Elder Tazapah as well. And the Wadi Yahweh Bashim Awashai back with another opportunity to not only to push out another lesson, but as far as to touch on prophecy, touch on the news, which this is one of the main things. Matter of fact, I get a precept. I'll put it up on here. This is one of the main things or the key things that we're going to need in this truth. And I get a precept real quick, and whatever you got Elder Tazapah, the floor yours. But real quick, Revelation chapter 19 and verse 10. It says, "And I fell at his feet to worship him." This the apostle John. It says, "And he said unto me, See, thou do it not," talking to an angel. "I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai, worship the Most High. For the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy." So that's why it's a blessing, to be able to do these lessons, because it's coming in the spirit of prophecy. Some of the main things that we are set out as believers. And you know what? Not just believers, but a lot of people know about end time events. A lot of people know about the apocalypse, so on and so forth. But again, the Lord have given us the ability and the insight to know exactly what's coming according to what's been written thousands of years ago, man, so that we can update on it and be prepared. But other than that, you got it, Elder Tazapah.
I ain't had nothing. We get into it.
Okay, Khan. So with that, as you see from the title, it says, "And Shalom Tala Akim Aqua through tuning in, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah Brakathum." Shalom, my Lord, up for y'all. So as you see from the title, it says Thursday Live, various topics, and Americans quietly assign China-like social credit scores with a question mark. You see? So we're gonna hop into these various topics. Which we got a couple of them, so we ain't go, spend all day on them. And inside joke, Shalom Shemawan. But so we'll hop into it. But from the first one, we got from Apostle Gabar, we'll go ahead and play that. And then the next one, we'll read into a little bit how you got the Biden administration. They telling U.S. ports, as we've been hearing about lately, different ports been affected with crashing into bridges, the lights going off, so on and so forth. So Biden now are warning ports for cyber attacks to the infrastructure.
I go back to what that video you brought up 2 or 3 weeks back with Mike Adams about Black Swan season. Right into that. Yeah, that was it.
That's it. And next we'll touch on him, kind of just highlighting. Next we'll touch on how you've been hearing around America. It says four states, but it's multiple people within these states, and it's just four for right now. But they trying to contact 9/11, and ain't no 9/11. Ain't no 9/11. You see? And also you got Iran. Iran been doing their thing. As the Elder Tazapah, he would just put me on game before we started the lesson. Right? Iran been doing their thing, ain't backing down from Israel or America, as we know prophecy say. you know, they got help from Russia, China, so on and so forth, but they doing their part as well. And they just you know, sent drones and different nukes towards Israel. And we're gonna let this video play with Scott Ritter. Man, he said some good stuff, got me a little excited. So we're gonna let that play. Then we'll get into the next thing, which is what is it? Americans quietly assign China-like social credit scores. Which this one thing, if you know, been keeping up with the Thursday Live for the past year, so these are one of the events that we've been talking about, man. You know, not only a digital currency coming, which is the RFID micro CHIP, but also you got a digital ID and a social credit score will be linked to that. And you're gonna have to abide by the new rules of this new world order, man. And if not, you're gonna be cut out of society. And that's why I got the, you know, the Netflix Black Mirror pulled up because it was an episode. But now these things are starting to, as it said in the book of Habakkuk 2, speak and not lie. And that's what we got the title from Crossroads with Joshua Phillips. You know, so we'll go ahead and get into a couple of things. Lord willing, this lesson do be edifying. But if you ain't got another Taza Pod, go ahead and let this video from
just
Apostle Bob play.
Yeah, just a quick correction. You had stated nukes, but it was just intercontinental. It was strategic intercontinental ballistic missiles, non-nuclear. Because once the nukes start flying, that's it. It's game over. We still got to get the well, as you about to see, we still have to get the MOTB first. But yeah, Iran fired some of its I guess you'd say B class, C and B class missiles into Israel. But we'll get into that in a little bit. So you got it out.
Hey, Salaki on my point, but the water for that correction, Zaquan.
Con, brother.
So we'll go ahead and let this video from Apostle Gabar play, which he played this, or should I say posted this a day ago. And that's how you know the apostles be on fire, because I went back to his page to look for it again, and it was like 4 videos down, but it was just a day ago, right? But you see, it says watch and pray, and that's been the spirit of a lot of, you know, brothers' lessons, praying in these times. But it says watch and pray, 13-day satanic ritual from April 19th through May 1st approaches. So I just play a little bit of it, and I'm gonna post this in the chat, which I'm sure we are all seen it, but just want to play this. Just so look, we're in those times, anything can happen. The elder just said, we played a video a couple weeks ago from our man's right here, Full Spectrum. How he said we're in the Black Swan season. Many different things are about to happen.
Oh, that was him. I thought that was Mike. My bad.
You know what? I think you're right. It was Mike. It was Mike from Bardion. It was Mike. Sure was. Come. Yep, sure was. That's it.
You know, I need to do this video here. All right, this was put up by.
Let me make sure y'all can hear. Y'all can hear that, right? Okay, cool. Let me know if y'all can hear the video playing in the background.
Rise of the Hopeful Elect, April 19th to May 1st, Satanic High Holy Days. So let's read some of this here. This is from Reddit.com. FYI, for your information, today, April 19th, is the first day. Today is April 16th. So this will take place in 3 days.
Today, April 18th. So tomorrow, say something can happen. Now, again, this, you know, if something happened within these days or not, we know something coming, man.
Time. Today, April 19th, is the first day of the 13-day satanic ritual days for the blood sacrifice to the beast. So the blood sacrifice is just that, a blood sacrifice. So this is a day, this is a time, rather, 13-day period. This is a time where human sacrifice is done to appease the so-called god Molech. One of the many gods, so-called gods, that the Edomites worship, Molech. And again, I mentioned the Bohemian Grove, and you had that 45-foot stone owl that's known as the Owl of Molech. So indeed, the Edomites definitely worship these pagan gods. Okay. So reading on, it says, we're just going to get to the point. April 19th, let me click on this. April 19th is the first day of the 13-day satanic ritual day relating to fire, the fire god Baal or Molech / Nimrod, the sun god, okay? Also known as the Roman god Saturn. Saturn means, or Saturn, or Satan, which means, well, actually, Satan doesn't mean the devil. Satan means adversary. The devil means deceiver. Okay, so reading on, it says this.
And you know, the scripture says Revelation 12 and 12, which, you know, we're going to move on here in a few. I'm going to throw this in the chat. Just wanted to start with this. Many different things are about to happen. But what I was quoting, Revelation 12 and 12, it says that the devil, Esau Edom, cometh down with great wrath because he knoweth that he have but a short time. So a lot of people going to die. He about to put people to death one way or another. It's about to be some sacrifices, man. Whether he do it through the likeness of a plane hitting a building or two buildings, you see, whatever he may do, these things are about to take place. But I'm gonna throw that in the chat real quick, and let's see if Apostle got a little more.
This day is a major human sacrifice day. See that? I really should say this time period. All right, the 13-day time period is a major human sacrifice day. So some of the works that's going to be done during the day, during those days, not during the day, during those days are going to be to appease the pagan gods that Esau worships, in this case, Molech. A human sacrifice will be done to appease that so-called God and to get power from that so-called God. All right, these top wicked elites, they worship these demonic gods to get power from them. They give them, or they give unto them sacrifices. Okay, human sacrifices at that. This is why it is.
See, so let's go into a couple of these things that might soon happen. So this is the first one. So
real quick, the apostle, what he's going into, which the elite, they get into this every year. That's Beltane, or this is called Walpurgis Night, and it's a fire ritual, and they usually celebrate by bombing something. All right, I think the Oklahoma City bombing was 4/19, and then this is a few others. I believe when they set the Branch Davidian on fire, I believe that was 4/19. That was the federal government. What, you got it?
What Apostle Gabar showing it on this video, I'll blow it up. You see right here, it says April 19th, 1995, Oklahoma City bombing. Once again, fire and death on this day.
Yep. Columbine, well, okay, the high school. Yeah. Okay, that we mentioned. But yeah, this is always a heavy time of the year. Beltane would lead you to May Day, the maypole and all of that. And that's the basically the whole myth of the phoenix rising from the ashes. Because you have your ritual by fire, and they have do the Wicker Man and all of these different. They have their different rituals that they do, and then May they have the children dance around the maypole, which means life and rebirth, because the pole is the rod and the children represent the sperma. And that's why they have the strings, they run with the strings attached to the pole. So it's a death and rebirth ritual that they go into this time every year. It's all a part of the spring equinox. But yeah, that was it.
Kind of got a real quick one. Ephesians 5 and verse 14, it says, wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Mashiach shall give thee light. It's the point. 15 and 16. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Ultimately telling us, you got it.
No, you good. Go ahead.
Con, I was about to say, ultimately saying that, hey, include myself, hey, in these times, circumspect me, which mean what? Pay attention, look around. You see, look around, not as these people in the world just doing stuff. Why? Because the days that we in are bad times, man. Anything can happen at any time, anywhere, to anybody, man. You see?
Yep. I'll bring this out real quick. And this is Isaiah chapter 47, verse 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. All right. Now, for a long time, nobody did see him. But just as you mentioned, there's certain of the children of Israel, all right, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who had risen up, and the Most High had given them light. All right, that light is through the Holy Spirit. And what that light does is shine, on the secret corruption and wickedness that's been going on in this world. And so we see this devil. All right. But he thought at one time none seeth me. And then grab that scripture say, how are the hidden things of Esau searched out? So he's saying Isaiah 47 and 10, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it had perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Right, because he has a God complex. And everything that you see being done, this dystopian nightmare that he's constructing, that's him forging out for himself an artificial, a de facto, if you will, blessing. He's trying to mimic the things that the Most High took from him. And then in his pride, he said, well, you know what? To hell with it. I'll make my own shit.
Right.
And that's his sentiment. All right. He allowed Moab to put up a fake sun. All of the food is fake, artificial, all women are artificial. Anything outside of this truth, man, it's not legit. And Esau, he's slowly but surely bringing everything to an artificial state, taking everything from its natural form, how the Most High created everything, and he's perverting it. So go ahead, brother.
Come Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 6. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?
Yeah, and that's Amos 3:6, man. The Most High would do nothing, but he revealed his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. So that's how his hidden things are sought up. That's how he's searched out by the Holy Spirit, that light that we were given. That light is shining on everything. It's shining on us. And it's letting us know we got, we had work to do, got work to do. There's work to be done. All right. And it's shining on this world, those that run this world. And the Most High is showing us, look, this is not what I intended. Ain't none of this shit right. And so now we preach the gospel. We come out and preach the gospel to let the people know this ain't how it's supposed to be. This ain't the way it was meant to be. And the Lord is coming back soon to correct everything. And if it wasn't for you to correct yourself, you will be corrected here in America. If you make it through everything, you will be corrected by nuclear fire. So yeah, that was it, brother.
That's it. So we'll quickly just kind of run through these various topics. Probably just read like a paragraph or two in them. But the first one says end time headlines. Now this came out yesterday, I believe, and it says the Biden administration warns the U.S. ports to prepare for cyber attacks as nationwide infrastructure is targeted. See, and I remember, not I remember, but I'm sure we remember when the Baltimore bridge situation happened, even the other one in New York. What's one thing they said? That the boat went out of power. They weren't able to help, get the call in, so on and so forth. Oh, also you got not just as far as the ports, but other businesses being targeted, banks, certain credit unions.
All of those food processing facilities.
Hospitals. You see? So look, these things, look, and well, let's just read it, but I'll read a little bit. So the first paragraph, and I throw it in the chat, it says, a top Biden cybersecurity official urged the nation's ports in a joint call on Wednesday to have their data encrypted, rapidly patch any vulnerabilities in critical systems, and have a well-trained cyber team as hacks targeting key U.S. infrastructure increase. So these things are happening. You got the Houthis, you see jumping on ships out there in the Red Sea.
Yep.
So these things are happening. And again, the movie. Can't forget about the movies. What it was, Leave the World Behind. What did the dude say? The Jake. What was step one? Cut the systems off.
Yep.
Cut the systems off. The phones. Oh, and that's another one. That's another one. We're gonna move to the next one. It's various topics. Just quick hits. We're gonna move to the next one. What did Jake say in the movie? The first step, cut. I wish I would have had that clip pulled up, but cut the systems off first. Remember the Edomite said, I'm nothing without my phone, without my GPS. So that's what we see. You got it.
I was just saying he used the term isolation. Remember? And then, right, it was basically cut communications. And then we had about a month and a half, 2 months ago, where the communications went down with a lot of people across the U.S., their phone service. So there's a lot of things to get this, what the people not aware of is that a coup is being planned right before their eyes. There's a lot of this shit with the bridge that you mentioned, with the even going into that movie, how they shut down people's phone for half a day or a portion of a day. All of this is in preparation for the coup that they're planning for America. But yeah, you got it out.
That's spot on. So I just read a little bit of this, and I'm gonna let this video play, maybe 2 or 3 minutes of it, and just let him speak about this same situation, about the 9/11 or 911 outages that's happening. So again,
that too, right along with it. Yeah, these are all beta tests in preparation for the big show. Yep, go ahead, brother.
That's it. It says developing, and look, in this article it say, because I think this was put out yesterday or way earlier today, this morning, but his just dropped. Patrick Humphrey, which, again, shout out to the Yashawamba, he be playing this dude a lot, but his just dropped a couple hours ago. When he dropped? 2 hours ago. And so now it's more states. So it's updating, it's developing. So it says developing. Widespread 911 outages are reported in 4 states. Hey, Elder Taza Park, what place that was talking about either last week or 2 weeks ago, how even the police said there's a certain time where they ain't gonna pick up because they ain't got enough people.
Yeah, I see it.
I don't know why Pittsburgh. I don't know, but I don't think it's Pittsburgh. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to say Detroit, but I can't remember.
But yeah, we highlighted that a week or two ago. I forget where it was, but it was somewhere in America. And pretty much the police said, "Look, we ain't got enough people between I forget the times, like late at night, early in the morning. So don't even call us, especially for this and that and robbery. We don't want to hit. We ain't got enough people." But now this coming out a week or two later, saying widespread 911 outages are reported in 4 states. So this is the first 4, and I'm gonna let the video play. It says a large-scale outage is affecting residents' ability to call 911 emergency number, call the 911 emergency number in parts of Nebraska and Texas and the entire state of South Dakota. In Las Vegas, calls to 911 on landline phones and mobile phones were not connecting for about 2 hours before service was restored about 9 p.m. Right? So, and it goes on. I'm gonna throw it in the chat, but let's let this video play. And these are like prelims, the beginning phases to days like the purge. Ain't nobody coming to help. Nobody coming to help. Gradualism leading all the way up into that.
This is big breaking emergency news. We are now seeing a nationwide outage of the 911 system inside the United States. This is currently going on, and these outages are still happening. And the peak of them seemed to be last night. Last night, there was a nationwide outage. You can see all these different states here that are being affected. Over 10 different states have been confirmed to be affected by these outages, right? So this is big. This could have been some kind of cyber attack. They are saying that potentially there was some kind of cable cuts as well, right? So these are the things that we're dealing with, and the threat level is at an all-time high, because I've been saying this for a long time, that before something big really happens, they're going to cut off the emergency services.
Now check out what he about to say. This makes so much sense, and this is what made me think about the movie. Check him out.
Some kind of cable cuts as well, right? So these are the things that we're dealing with, and the threat level is at an all-time high, because I've been saying this for a long time, that before something big really happens, they're going to cut off the emergency services so nobody can respond to it. So nobody can respond, and the casualty will be even higher. All right, so let's dive into the details here.
Come on, man. We can see that playing out. Because who you going to call? And that made me think of this scripture. I got to get it. 2 Ezra 15. Real quick, and I might play a little bit more. 2 Ezra 15 and verse 16, straight to the point. For there shall be sedition among men, right? Uprisings, and invading one another, and they, talking about the people, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So again, since nobody ain't gonna come, these are the times when people go take actions into their own hands then. And that's at the same time, it's gonna be more sicknesses that's gonna come. Life gonna get even more harder. Who knows what this next event gonna be? We all call it an event or a black swan. Who knows what it's gonna be? That's coming too. Now, if the people, the cops ain't there to answer, and you get a AI voice, you go take matters into your own hands, man. But you got something to come before I play a little bit more?
Go ahead,
Very kind.
Really quick, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'm bringing you multiple videos a day.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna throw that in the chat. because I want to play this video with Scott Ritter that you had spoke on before this, or the Taza Pod, because he said some good stuff about Iran, which is good news for us. The bad news we hear about Israel, you gotta watch what you say on YouTube, right? But the beast,
Right? Yeah.
you know, and the one she helping, right? The one that's gonna draw her out. You see, this good stuff for us, man, because this is according to prophecy. Now, moving on, before I play the video, this article just dropped today. It says, this is what Iran told Israel from RT News. Iran warns Israel that it knows where its nukes are hidden. They talking they saying, look, we know where your artillery at, man, and we gonna hit it. And this is gonna roll beautifully right into this video what Scott Ritter got to say. I'm gonna read a little bit of it, then whatever you got before I play the video. So it says, an attack on Tehran's facilities will trigger tit-for-tat retaliation, the IRGC officer in charge of their safety has said. I'm going to jump straight down to the point. It says, the Israeli nuclear compounds are identified. Saying we found them, are identified, and the necessary information about all the targets is at our disposal to respond. It says the IRGC Brigadier General Ahmad Hagtalab claimed, as quoted by Tasnim, a semi-official news agency associated with the regiment. Right, regiment. It says this. What he also said: we have a hand on the trigger to launch powerful missiles and to destroy those targets. We ready. We ready.
Yep.
This examples of the weak saying they strong. You got it, Dosaquan.
Oh no, you good, brother.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this video.
I got a quick precept.
Okay.
This is Jeremiah 50 and 35. It says, the sword is upon the Chaldeans, said the Lord, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, and upon her princes, and upon her wise men. A sword is upon the liars, and they all dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed. A sword is upon their horses, and upon their chariots, and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her, and they shall become as women. A sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed. So, just basically war is coming to this place. A sword, the Heavenly Father is getting ready to send a sword to Babylon, finally, because for so many years, this is why she's known as that virgin daughter of Babylon in Isaiah 47, because war has never been brought to the shores. You know, there's been no military attack by any outside country brought to within the borders of America. So in that sense, she's a virgin. But the Lord has prepared a sword and it's coming to this place. And that's what you people about to get caught up in. That's why it says back in 35, Jeremiah 50 and 35, a sword is upon the Chaldeans, said the Lord. All right. And those are the elite of Babylon. And it says, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, and upon her princes, and upon her wise men. All right. So you people of Babylon, y'all gonna catch a fade here real soon. A bad one. But yeah, brother, you got it.
Con. I got a real quick one. Because again, this article right here is an example of Joel 3. How the weak are standing up for themselves, man. They speaking up to the beast, America. You see, they joining forces like the scriptures say with Russia, so on and so forth. But real quick, Joel chapter 3 and verse 9, it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near and let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. And now look, and that's one thing we've been seeing. All nations have been gearing up for war these past couple years, man.
Yep.
Yeah, they've been focusing on, growing the economy and, the agriculture. And no, they've been focusing on getting them missiles. Whose side they're going to be on. That's what they're worried about. Because look, we in them times. But what's the point? It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, and let the weak say I am strong. And that's ultimately what Iran said. Look, we're going to fight back. And they did damage already. And really, I'm gonna let him play it. But I know, because Elder Tazapah, I don't know if you want to speak on this video before we play it, or you just want to kind of just play it and, just let me know as it's going.
Oh, yeah. You can just play it and we'll might let it play all the way through.
Con. So this is from Open-Minded Thinker Show. This was posted 3 days ago. It says Scott Ritter, which is the guy right here on the right without the hat on. It says Scott Ritter, Israel hiding damages caused by Iran's retaliation. Iran will strike nuclear base. Hold on. What Iran said that was put out today? Iran warns Israel it knows where its nukes are hidden. Man, we in them times. Let's play it.
Let's just point out the reality that Iran started this attack by launching the slowest, loudest weapons in its arsenal, the Shahed drones. And they did that because they were sending a signal to Israel to attack by launching the slowest, loudest weapons in its arsenal, the Shahed drones. And they did that because they were sending a signal to Israel, the United States, and everybody, we're attacking Israel. Now, if they were looking to carry out, a lethal attack, why announce it 5 hours in advance? Why give Israel a chance to withdraw its high-valued assets from bases that are vulnerable? Why give the United States, Great Britain, and France chance to move resources up, ships, airplanes over Jordan to intercept these missiles? Iran was saying, here we come, shoot us down. And they did. They came out and they shot the drones down. Now, Iran launched tens of millions of dollars worth of drones. The United States and Israel spent billions of dollars shooting them down. This is a financial equation that's unsustainable. And that was one of the points that Iran was making, is you can't afford this kind of war. Then they sent in cruise missiles that, combined with the drones, defined the initial phase of the air defense reaction. Not only the air defense, the airplanes, but once they penetrated the airplanes, the Iron Dome started engaging. And they brought in missiles at a higher level so that the Arrow systems and the Patriots started to engage. And they defined the radar. They defined how Israel's locking in on the targets. And then they did three things. And this is where it gets iffy. I have to be honest, George, it's very early and there's incomplete information out there. But my understanding is that Iran used three types of ballistic missiles. One ballistic missile, it's a very clever missile. It uses a warhead that separates and then burst fires a bunch of decoys out there that appear to be specifically designed to absorb Iron Dome missiles. So remember, the Iron Dome is tracking a target. You fire these decoy bursts, and so the Iron Dome says, aha, we have now 25 targets, and they fire 25 interceptors. Meanwhile, smaller warheads, maneuverable, burst through those interceptors and go down and hit the Israeli air defense systems. And that appears to be the case. I was looking at some video where you see this taking place, the shotgun effect of these bomblets, the Iron Dome responding and then coming in, and they hit the air defense system. So they're showing the Israelis how we're going to take you out. The next thing that you see is they have these missiles coming in where you see the warhead separating from the missile body, and then there's a booster engine on the warhead that drives it down into the ground at high speed, blowing away any radar intercept, any ability to intercept, hitting the target. And what this does is it clears the space. They clear air defense. And the final thing are these heavy warheads that come off of the heavy missiles that hit the runways and blew the big craters in them. This was a 3-layered ballistic missile attack that was specifically designed by the Iranians to destroy Israeli air defense, to clear the way, to take out air defense, and then to show that we can put the big warheads on the target anywhere in Israel we want to. And this was successful. And the beauty of this is they didn't use their best missiles. All three, with the exception, one of these missiles is rather new, but it's not the hypersonic missile. Israel didn't use their hypersonic missile.
So, like, if I may, because he going in, he's saying a whole lot. You want to speak on it?
Yeah. No, go ahead, brother. You got it.
Nah, I can't. No, nah, because he said a whole lot. He said a whole lot because what Iran did was they sent a shot at not only Israel but also America. And what he said was Israel, they had 3 options, 3 different, different things that they shot at Israel. Now, one of them, when it separated in the air, it shot off multiple, and we're gonna show the video of it too here in a few, but it shot off multiple decoy warheads. So therefore, and I mind you, they sent out, I think he said one of these slow drones or something like that. So at the time it was going, they was picking up on Israel missile defense system, which that's what the Iron Dome is. It was picking up on how they detected the missiles that's coming. And so what Iran did, one of the, I think it was a drone or something like that, but it's a rocket, but it let out decoy warheads. I believe that's what he said, decoys, to where that's what the missile defense systems picked up on. And as they was picking up on that, the rockets let out the real warheads or whatever it may be. But now Israel got all the Iran got all the intel on how the Iron Dome work, where your nuke set, again, going back to the article, where your nuke set now, right? Like the Pascal Barley, the phone had to chime on that one. But where your nuke set now? So really, they played Israel in this whole thing, man. They sent off some slow little, drones, let you detect it, got how you detect it, wrote it down, put the intel down, seeing how your defense system work. They put the intel down, probably sent it to Russia, had Putin in the, in the chat, right? Yep. Kim Jong-un in the chat. And now they got all your info and they know where your nuke's at, man. So this is a beautiful job how the Lord had these people play that. Now it's gonna be a little back and forth here and there, and we'll see how it play out. But you got it, Zaquan.
No, that's master strategery, if that's a word. But you can't forget. Yeah, you can't forget. They didn't, as Sky Ritter said, they spent billions to deter $1 million attack, and that's non-sustainable. So they not only got all of that intel, but got them to waste precious resources while they was doing it. So it's like you said, you brought the right scripture out. Let the weak say I am strong. Because this man is such a devil that he done sold weapons to all nations on the earth, because he has to perpetuate war. He is as death. Yeah, that brother said it was Pittsburgh.
The water.
I had a feeling you was right.
Shalom Tala Akim Akwathu tuning in. Shalom, Yabashman Shabakatham. But right, so I put that video with Scott Ritter in the chat. He went in, but let's play this video of the attacks real quick. And then we can get into the second segment of the lesson, which is Americans quietly assign China-like social credit scores with a question mark. But let's go ahead and play it. So this is the attack. And remember what he said, they shot out decoy warheads that dropped. But that wasn't even the real thing. The real things went undetected, and they did damage as they went undetected.
Right now, we're taking a look at video showing the moment that Iran launched a retaliatory attack on Israel. Its military launched more than 300 missiles and drones toward Israel, most of which have been intercepted outside of Israel.
And see, that's the thing they will be saying. Most of them have been intercepted. The decoys was intercepted. The decoys was intercepted. And remember, go watch the Scott Ritter video.
No, they was able to get the drones, but yeah, the missiles they didn't get. But they needed America's help. That was a bilateral defense, if you will, between Israel and America to shoot down them drones. So they did get some of the drones. I don't know if they got all of them, but they did get some of the drones. But yeah, the missile attack was successful. Gone.
The water.
Israel's borders with help from the United States. The strike shutting down Israeli airspace.
Back again? Yep.
Yeah, see, it's right there. Don't play it back. Let's play it back.
Right now, we're taking a look at video showing the moment that Iran launched a retaliatory attack on Israel. Its military launched more than 300 missiles and drones toward Israel, most of which have been intercepted outside of Israel's borders with help from the United States. The strike shutting down Israeli airspace, and we also know the airport there in Tel Aviv as well.
President Biden now doubling down on America's support for Israel's security. In the middle of the night, drones streaked across the sky over the Holy Land. Israel's military defense is in overdrive to respond to an unprecedented attack by Iran, which the IDF says launched more than 200 drones from inside Iran, as well as from proxies in Iraq, Syria, and southern Lebanon. A U.S. official tells ABC News the targets were military bases, including one housing F-35 fighter jets. ABC's Britt Clennett describes what she saw.
About an hour ago, we were seeing trails of orange, these orange flashes in the sky, and then the thud of Israel's air defense in action. It almost sounded like thunder. There was at least a dozen projectiles in all directions behind me.
After the drones launched, Iran's supreme leader said the evil regime will be punished. President Biden cut short his weekend trip to Delaware, returning to the White House Saturday afternoon to huddle with his national security team. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said the defensive systems are deployed, adding, "We are prepared for any scenario, both in defense and attack." Netanyahu.
So there it is. Throw that in the chat too.
Yeah, that was Friday sometime while we was at camp.
Hey, shalom to that brother Yakana. Y'all Bashim Al Shah Brakatah. Shalom, Ma.
Y'all Bashim Al Shah Brakatah.
Shit. Hey, y'all put up prayers for that bro, bro, bro get better. But hey, y'all Bashim Al Shah Brakatah, bro. But the brother Todd said all cruise missiles shot down, all drones shot down, but all hypersonic missiles landed, all 7 of them. Shows that these missiles will come in as a thief in the night. Right. And that reminds me of Joel, the 2nd chapter 2, how it says when those, that actual day when them, the brother was going into it. But I read this one. But Joel 2 says how ain't no defenses go be able to stop those missiles once they shot off. But 2nd Ezra 16 and 13, it says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. That's it.
Beautiful.
But you got something else before we go to the last part of the lesson?
No, brother, you can go ahead.
Okay, Khan. So touching on this part, it says Americans quietly assigned China-like social credit scores. Now we got this up first because as this been mentioned a couple of times, and I'm sure some of us seen it, but the TV show on Netflix, I don't know if it's still on now, but Black Mirror, right? Black Mirror. Now it was the episode called Nosedive. I think it was like season 3, episode 1, if I'm mistaken. But anyway, in that episode, it went into a social credit app. It says, as it said right here, social credit app seen in Black Mirror is becoming reality. Reality, and that's what's happening. Now I ain't gonna play the trailer because I don't know if they're gonna like kind of like flag it. But in this episode, and if you got Netflix, is if it's still on there, it's good to watch. I ain't got it, but I need somebody parachute, which you can't do that no more. But so on this app, you had to abide by the laws of the land. Like whatever Esau, you had to fit in. You couldn't be different. Whatever the norms of society was, you had to do it, man. If not, you'll get a bad credit score. And if so, you'll be cut out of society. And again, I just wanted to show that because a lot of things they put in movies or TV shows, it ain't just a movie or a TV show for entertainment. These are foreshadowings of what's going to be reality soon for everybody, man. I'm gonna throw I pulled the trailer up for y'all. If y'all haven't seen it, I'm gonna throw the trailer in there. That's a trailer for it. Now, we played this a couple times because this is reality right here. We played this a couple times on the Thursday Live, but it's already going on in China. And we're going to get about America. We're going to get America. But got to set the stage for America. That's the Lord is saving the best for last. But these things are happening right now. But it's in movies, right? China doing it. You already got in the UK. They beginning their processes of the digital ID, so on and so forth. But let's see how China got it set up. So, and this was coming over here. If the Lord allowed them to get that far, because these are some of the things that Esau want to do, like Elder Taza Paul was talking about in 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, to make him feel like God, to know where everybody at, to track everybody, so on and so forth. This, if the Lord allowed him to get that far, according to Job, while he about to fill his belly.
Yep.
So the title says China ranks good and bad citizens with social credit system.
They're constantly monitored by facial recognition cameras that are able to instantly put a face to a name. Now the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark out of a possible 950 points. A score in the 700s is considered good. Around the 500 mark is not. For now, the number is a sort of bank credit rating, keeping track of everyone's spending habits.
I think being ranked is a good thing. A society has to have rules.
It forces us to be well behaved.
It may seem scary, but it's just like that here. We're used to it. And anyway, we don't have a choice.
But in an effort to keep all of its subjects in line, Beijing is taking the system a step further in 2020. It's aggregating data gathered by banks, private companies, and the state to rate if someone's a good or bad citizen.
By using the most data possible, the so-called big data, the system will play an important role in rebuilding a moral society.
The state will go over every detail of a person's life with a fine-tooth
Now check this out. The state, and they said banks too. They will link them together.
comb. Their financial situation, spending habits, career.
A moral society.
The state will go over every detail of a person's life with a fine-tooth comb. Their financial situation, spending habits, career, even behavior on social media. Criticizing the government online or displaying outward signs of wealth is a no-no. On the other hand, praising the party or giving blood increases your social credit. Xiao Wen Wang is a model citizen. She lives in Nanjing, a testing ground for social ranking. Married with a child, she has a job in a retirement home, no debts, and she wouldn't dream of jaywalking.
As a good citizen, I respect the rules of the road. If I didn't, I'd lose points on my social credit.
In theory, everything can be taken into account in the social score, even the most innocuous errands like supermarket shopping. When Xiao Wen Wang makes an electronic payment, her purchases tell the state a lot about her. Buying cigarettes would count against her. On the other hand, nappies show she's an attentive mother. Beer could indicate alcoholism. She'd be better off buying water. In this pilot city.
See, and now when you go back and watch that Black Mirror episode, it'll be funny that these things are reality now, that these are really people mindsets, man. Go back and watch the episode.
City of 8 million people, there are only 18,000 model citizens. For Xiaowen Wang, there are perks to be had, such as paying half price for the bus.
I get discounts for all public services, even at museums. And the library is free for me, thanks to my score.
A good score brings benefits, but people with low scores lose rights. The cinema names and shames people considered untrustworthy, plastering
Look at that bad credit score. You gonna be come on, man.
details.
Yep. Oh, go ahead, bro.
God.
Even their addresses across big screens.
Oh man, I said names, addresses, where you stay, where your mama stay. You know, where my mama stay.
Damn, that's messed up.
That's crazy.
Rights. The cinema names and shames people considered untrustworthy, plastering their details, even their addresses across big screens.
It's a matter of principle. Those people have to be condemned.
Those people aren't honest, so they have to pay the price.
But you see, the ones who bought in, see how easy it is for them to do whatever the government say, and with a smile on their face, and to quickly cast out and demonize the ones who got a bad so-called social credit score.
Yeah, the one chick, she said, we don't have a choice at the beginning.
Man.
Yeah, she said we don't have a choice. So, yeah.
I'm going to play a little bit more of it. It's almost done with it.
It's only right to pay your debts. You have to blacklist those that don't.
Remember he said that. You have to blacklist those. Let's just get it. You have to blacklist those that don't. In other words, you got to cut them out. Cut them out. Separate them from everybody else. And this is the time we coming in. Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, which that first beast was the Roman Empire. But the so-called white man, you know, as he came out of that darkness, right, and took over the world again, he brought that old Roman Empire back by way of America, NATO, and the EU, mainly by way of America. But it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And as I was watching one of Apostle Gabar videos, ultimately, what's the ultimate for all people to worship? The New World Order. And cause that as many worship the image of the beast should be killed. Now, if you don't get down with it, I'm going to go into that word kill. Let's get it real quick. Now, this is one of the words G615. I believe it's this one. Yep, it's the root word kill in the blue letter. So it's G575 Apple or Apple. It says what? Of separation. If you don't get down, you're going to be separated. Of local separation. From motion from a place, i.e. departing, fleeing. Of separation of a part from the whole. we just seen a video what's going on in China. But again, what's in the title? These things are coming over here to America too. And they might have already started secretly, where everybody worrying about, you know, celebrities and Caitlin Clark and the WNBA draft and the new Dream Team.
Man, that's crazy, because I didn't realize that went back to that word, because that's also a root, because it's also used as a prefix. You know, we know from the Apocrypha and apostle. Apostle means one who sent away, apo, away. In other words, to separate. Same with the Apocrypha, that's the books that they separated, sent away hidden. So yeah, they're looking to make people apostates. whoever don't want to take part in this system. So I already know my number is 11. I don't know what's the highest you can go, 800, 900. If they already started over here, I know I probably got like 11, maybe a 12.
You can't get nothing. Man.
You know, I'm preaching this gospel.
Okay. But I see this one right here, another one that says physical, of distant, of place. So look, the ones who ain't getting down, that might be the ones they take and try to throw into the concentration camps. Take you out of, where everybody else said, the 15-minute cities. They got the food on schedule for them, and now you got to go in the concentration camp because you didn't want to get down.
Yep, that's it.
Our punishment, look, of distance of time, and look, and that's when some people gonna break, and they gonna say, okay. But just wanted to get that. Let me read it again, because these are times we're coming in, we'll play America, because America's about to form the same system as China, which we ain't just saying that. Klaus Schwab said it. Canada said it. Certain other global leaders said that China is the model for the new world, man, for the new way. Why? Because they're able to have authority and track and have a say-so for every single personnel. Revelation 13 and 15 again. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed or separated. And separated. And I'll read the point in this one is 15. I know we read the RFID micro C-Hub part, but on this one is about the tracking. You getting cut out of society. So let me go ahead and let me see. I'm gonna finish.
The Supreme Court has created a blacklist for so-called bad citizens, those whose ratings have dropped to 0. On it are companies, but also 23 million people to date. Among them is this journalist Liu Hu. He got a little.
Right. I'm gonna put that in the chat because you hear about his story here. The journalist, he can't even get a train ticket, and completely cut that man out of society. I almost felt bad for him. Look,
I saw that. I posted. Well, I did a lesson a few weeks ago about a chick. She was locked out. I think I want to say she may have been a journalist. I'm not sure, but she couldn't get in her house or none of that shit. Couldn't get nothing to eat. She was just basically out on the streets. But going back to what you said, here in Revelation 2 and 10, it says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Yeah, so the prison there is just like the brother was talking about. You're going to see concentration camps come up, which the penitentiaries, those are nothing more than concentration camps anyway, but that's what it's going into. So some of the believers of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, other dissidents, some going to be rounded up and thrown into prisons. All right, the scriptures say that you be tried. So they're gonna try the elect. And that goes back to was it Wisdom of Solomon 2?
Sirach 2, I believe. Tried as gold is tried in the fire.
Sirach? Okay, you go into that but no, you know the one I'm talking about. He say, let us test them with spite, something to that.
Oh, kind of. Yep. You're right. Let's see.
Yeah, that's when they're gonna get that. That's when they're gonna get that opportunity.
I got you right here if you wanted it.
Okay. Yeah, I was getting it. Go ahead.
Verse 19.
Yep, that's it. That's it. As a matter of
I
fact,
read it for you. Now you got it. You was going into it.
you gonna read it or you want me to read it?
I'll read it for you.
Start at 16.
Come. This Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 16. It says, we are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that the Most High is his father.
So right, that's Esau. Esau speaking about us because we esteem him as counterfeit. All right, I just said it in this lesson. He's trying to forge out a counterfeit blessing for himself, in which is if everything associated with and comes forth of Yahweh Shai's life, he say, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no man cometh to the Father but by me. Well, then Satan, being the polar opposite, his ways would have to be death. And again, this is why it speaks to Esau, Edom, being as death, because he is the children. They are the children of Satan. So they can only offer you death. That's why they offer you seedless this, seedless that, making men seedless. They take your women, force them to have C-sections when they don't need them, put them on this birth control, which kill slow. It's a slow death. And all of this, because anything that he has to offer you is death. All right, and we ain't even gonna talk about the solution that they brought for the CV19. That was death in the vial. But yeah, you can't get no more counterfeit than Esau Edom. So right, he said that right. We do esteem him as counterfeits. And the Most High is our Father. All right, and they go back to Zephaniah, not Zephaniah. I meant to say Zechariah 13 and 9. Also, you can read about that in where is that? In Zephaniah 3 and 8 or 3 and 9. You know, but you could go ahead.
Verse 17, it says, let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. Verse 19, it says, let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Let us condemn him.
Yeah. When they speak about the devil may cast some of you into prison that he may be tried, right? Well, that's what it means. Some of the elect are going to be tried, you know, to test their beliefs. All right, but go ahead, Doc.
Verse 20, let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own sayings he shall be respected.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, yeah, see, these are the things that's coming, which is why we have to prepare ourselves as men of the Lord, his servants, and you women out there that are sincere, you know, prepare yourself as best you can. But yeah, brother, you got it.
So we seen, again, we talked about the Black Mirror episode, what is called nosedive, right? Which is social credit. Then we played how China, what they got going for the past couple of years with the social credit. Now let's get into America. because everybody about to follow the same way of doing things.
Craziness.
It's from my man Full Spectrum Survival. He put this out 7 days ago because we played. Remember, now last week we played this video, but we stopped before this. But we got to play this though. Let's play it.
There's an outlet saying that we have exposed something that most of us have no idea even exists. We in the USA have a social credit system right here that has been installed quietly. Private businesses and banks are giving Americans personal ESG or scores. These personal scores are calculated based on 3 main factors: your environmental, social, and governance. This includes, for example, your purchase history. Now, you might have, as I started reading that, say, you know what, maybe that's a little bit of, maybe that's just hearsay. But then you remember that Visa, MasterCard, your banks, they're all reporting your purchase history. So they say things.
Right. I want to get some real quick. What came out today? Listen what he just said. And right before we started the lesson, this just came out. Natural news. JP Morgan Chase announces it is selling 80 million customer transaction histories to third-party advisors. Now, when you go into this article, I'm gonna throw it in the chat. When you go into this article, you know how the different ads pop up on your phone, or you may get different things in the mail. Well, JP Morgan Chase gave your transaction history to different third-party businesses to see what you like, so they can start putting ads on your phone and sending you different things so you can buy more of it. And why I wanted to show this, if they doing this for a random third-party company or advisors, how much more when the government step in, man? Let me see what this person doing. What he buying? What he doing? Guns, his credit score going down. And this came out today, 4/18/2024. Right? But let's go back and play it.
Things like your purchase history. What products are you choosing to buy? Apparently, the purchasing of a self-defense tool, buying alcohol, or other things can affect your score. Your sales history, your public records, your credit reports. All of these are considered to gauge your impact in the environment and society. They say rather than use the Chinese standard, the Americans are making something up all their own. Now in China, no matter what you do, you have a score that either gives you chance or it takes it away. You want to take a bus instead of walk? Well, your personal score has to be high enough. You want a chance at a job? Your personal score has to be high enough. As it goes down, and that's for things like maybe you acted rudely, that gets reported, and now your score drops a little bit. You jaywalked, that gets reported, now your score drops a little bit. You made a social media post that went against the grain, now your score goes down a little bit. Well, it goes down a little bit and a little bit, and then what happens? Then you can't get a job. Then you can't take a bus. Then you can't, get an airline ticket. Then you can't leave the country. Then you can't get on any sort of insurance. Then you can't do anything. They'll force you into such a tiny little box that everyone else will conform because they don't want to look like you.
And we just got that, Revelation 13. You will be cast out of society from the whole part. You know?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you want to teach the truth or speak truth on social media, score go down a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna play this one real quick as we'll wind down a few. So this from Josh Phillips. I've been having this one on deck too. Now, this is where we get the title from. Americans quietly assign China-like social credit scores. And his video kind of low, so Lord willing, y'all can hear it. But I'm gonna try to speed it up. Let's go to speed up. Hopefully it ain't too fast. But let's play a little bit of it. I think I got some timestamps because we've kind of going a little long, but let's see.
Crossroads. Folks, the day is upon us. We now have a social credit system right here in the United States that has been installed quietly, interestingly, not by the government, but instead by private businesses and banks. Let me explain. Now, Americans have been quietly assigned scores on this. It's in similar ways, really, to the way the Chinese Communist Party's social credit system works. Remember, under the Chinese Communist Party, the CCP has a system that monitors every single individual, gives every single individual a score, and your score on this digital system they have determines your freedom or your oppression within the communist system. And so, for example, the people you're around, if your friend believes in democracy, or if your girlfriend's a Christian or something like that, these things can affect you indirectly. And it's through this the CCP creates a type of incentive system to enact the communist policies through individuals. Now, the system outside of China, right here in the United States, still in the works, is working through private businesses and banks. And rather than use a CCP standard of adherence to the ruling regime, it's instead based on the social justice standards under ESG, or environmental and social governance. You have ESG scores rather than a social credit score. Already, apparently, purchasing a gun, buying alcohol, or other items can affect your personal ESG score. And the scores allegedly also take into account which vendors you choose to buy products from. For example, a certain demonized pillow guy, might get you docked a few points, unfortunately. Now, it says here, this is the Impact Investor explaining it. It says a personal ESG score, your ESG score, evaluates an individual's performance and impact based on three main factors: environmental, social, and governance, ESG. As ESG criteria assesses businesses' sustainability and ethics, a personal ESG score, just like the big corporate ones, offers insight into a person's commitment to sustainable practices. And apparently we're all committed to this, whether we like it or not. It says, and it also looks into responsible decision making, responsible by whose standards, and sustainable by whose standards as well, I would ask. Because frankly, I'd say that when they say responsible in life, consider the following aspects to improve your governance score: decision making, practice deliberate and transparent decision making processes in both your personal and professional settings; ethical behavior, maintain and
that's what I'm gonna do, because he got a long vid, and we could wind it down a few. I'm gonna play these last like 4 minutes on a 20-minute mark, because this mainly hit on what we got going. As Elder Taza Power just talking about us who speak the truth, right? Who speak out against the government and these things that's going on. These main things they putting into law, right? Isaiah 10, they gonna mainly affect the prophets, the believers.
Yeah. We the target. At the end of the day, we the target. We're the main threat to this society. All right, they ain't worried about moles and elbows or nothing nobody else got going on. They worried about the profits. All right. But yeah, brother, we'll get into it. Go ahead.
Religious person, even if you don't dislike the individuals, you likely have moral standards that make you support or not support certain behaviors. It does not mean that you hate people. It just means that you have standards of morality you hold yourself to. And by nature of that, you recognize that some behaviors are not healthy. That is the basis of the moral standards of religion. And if the government's trying to tell you that you're not allowed to have moral standards, that the very act of having a moral standard is an act of discriminating against somebody else, even if you don't hate that individual or look down on them, just you have a standard of morals that makes you recognize what they're doing is not good, then they go after you for it. I would call that religious discrimination. And so I would say that by the very act of what these people are doing, they are doing the very thing that they claim to oppose. And of course, now you're being punished for not following these standards. It notes, for example, that they take hate speech, reputational risks as reasons to debank not just organizations, but also individual people.
It says, I'm gonna read it. According to the letter, banks will cite hate speech, which again, a Great Millstone ranked number 6. What is in the nation? The nation, and on the the hate group list. So we're in the top 10, you know. It says hate speech or reputational risk as reasons to debank organizations or individuals. That's what they're going. That's what we coming to.
Meaning people like you and people like myself. It says that ISS and Glass Lewis reportedly recommended voting against resolutions aiming to hold corporations accountable for these policies, the letter states, meaning, of course, they're even trying to interfere with voting standards and so on, what you vote for. Now, look, some of this is even being promoted by government agencies. It's not just businesses and it's not just banks. There's even government agencies involved in trying to enforce these things. You can take, for example, the Treasury Department's Financial Crimes Enforcement.
And this is the thing, how they're going to get the people. So you got businesses that's going to do it. Mm-hmm. Connected with the banks. So wherever you go shop at, they going to know your credit history, your social, your ESG, your environmental, social governance score. If you come up in that, look, we're a business. We don't have to look. They tell you right now, There was foreshadows of that. Look, you ain't got the mask on, you can't come. Can't come in. So now your score bad, the business is down with the bank, so you can't get money either. And now it ain't just them, but it's also government, certain sects of the government that's in it too. He go explain it, but you got it, Zaquan.
Oh no, you gonna play some more?
No, that's cool. We can move on. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna put it in the chat so they can watch it. But he said some other good stuff. But you got it.
Yep. Well, she play a little bit. Play a little bit more of that.
Network is doing right now as we speak. Just the News said this. The Treasury Department of our own government, their financial crimes enforcement network, it says, sees little difference between cryptocurrency transactions that may be tied to Hamas and banking services for U.S. groups that advocate for religious liberty, immigration restrictions, and a watchful, waiting approach to pediatric gender confusion. In other words, folks, if you're giving money, again, donations or whatever else to a terrorist group, and I would say that should be kind of illegal, I think it is, that some of these organizations within our own government don't see that as being different from you donating to groups that advocate for religious liberty. And frankly, I'd say this is sick government interference. Things tied in with this. It says that includes Western Union and PayPal, urging them to review a, quote, hate group report as being different from you donating to groups that advocate for religious liberty. And frankly, I'd say this is sick government interference with people's religious beliefs. If you donate to things that work for...
Okay, so they going after, they going after everything. So
everything's tied in with this.
Penalize people who pay tithes, who pay offerings, who donate offerings. They're gonna be penalized. So they're gonna completely try to defund the truth. But we bring this out a lot, but I'm gonna bring it out here. Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. All right. So, these are all unrighteous decrees. As he said, all this is about this social credit score, ESG, and all of this is about our compliance to some shit that they made up about carbon credits and global warming and all that shit. But, when you're using your head and you're thinking about things critically, when you're being circumspect, as the scripture the brother read earlier, Ephesians 5, when you're being circumspect, you ask questions like, if we're truly suffering from global warming, why is China making a second sun? Is y'all trying to tell us it's too hot, but yet y'all making extra suns? So this is all just a dog and pony show that people gonna go along with because they don't know no better. They won't do the research. They refuse to move their heads from out of their asses. All right, we talk about the movies. We mentioned with the Purge election year and the Civil War came out last week. But you can't forget Hunger Games, because that's where all of this shit is going. Hunger Games. They put you on the fucking a system of rating. They put you in this rating system, and then they can dictate to you whatever they want you to do. So and this is a question you have to ask too. What will be acceptable under this? Because it's not like they're gonna bring you some guidelines or give you a how to live manual. It'll just be arbitrary, arbitrary shit. I'm sure it'll change moment to moment, or from at least from year to year, shit is gonna change up. So what was once acceptable today may not be acceptable next week. And so I'm saying that to say, where does this shit stop? And if it was allowed to go on, you see it stop at Hunger Games. Or that, you know, that shit that came out a few years back on Netflix, based in China, where they was playing games. I forget the
Squid Games.
Squid Games. They had all that type of shit. They had a Black Mirror episode too, where people just it was an old boy from Get Out, I believe. Did you see that one? Where they was, yeah, they watch something, it would cost them, or they could buy things depending on what their score was. And yeah, it was crazy, man. That shit
I know
is
what episode
depressing.
you're talking about.
Yeah, he kind of fell in love with a white girl, and he ended up giving her some of his credits or all of his credits so she could go to compete to try to get her freedom or something. Yeah, and they end up putting her in a porno situation. Yeah, at the end of the movie. And yeah, it was crazy because I guess she lost the contest, and then she owed some money, so they had her working in porn. If I remember correctly, but yeah, brother.
Yeah, they had to do like daily activities for money for credits.
Yeah,
you know.
But you ain't never see them go outside. You ain't never see them. It was just like, yeah, it was real depressing. But that's what they want, man. 15-minute cities. Your ass is there. You ain't going nowhere. You know, he mentioned to get a plane ticket. There ain't gonna be no planes. Not for your average Joe. There'll be no flying. You bring that scripture out all the time. You know, 2 Ezra 15. You'd be lucky, you know, to get out of that 15-minute bubble. Well, they launching shit in, they launching some shit right now, the OTI. Yes, the OTI, Office of Technology and Innovations in New York. They launching a test bed for 15-minute cities. That's the OTI. So yeah, they getting ready to push this thing.
And so what I ain't gonna play no more of this Joshua Phillips video. I'm gonna put in the chat, Baba Gashab. Watch that. There's a lot of information he gave on. There's an hour long, a lot of info. But you know, he said businesses was in on it, the social credit score, banks in on it, and not just them, but the FBI, right? And also people like PayPal, so on and so forth. So they crossing off any angle anybody try to go, man. Now I'm gonna highlight a couple not precepts but articles. And I threw them all in the chat because we ain't gonna read them. But check this out. So in 2021, look what this article say from thehill.com. It says, coming soon, America's own social credit system. Elder Tazapah just read it. These things, they already got prescribed. Prescribed. They ready. And look, PayPal, this from 2022. Look, they go get the apps, the cash apps, the everything go be down. It says, because look, not only do individuals got ESG scores, companies got it too. Banks got it too. Now we see why everybody willing to go woke, right? While people have like Bud Light. How they had the Transformer as the spokesperson now. You got Ford came out with a rainbow flag truck doing rainbow flag month. Everybody getting down so the ESG score could be high.
Right. They were talking about, Bud lost all his millions and all of this. I bet they learned their lesson. It wasn't about that. It's about pushing an agenda. They got a narrative they need to unfold.
That's right.
And so the money, they don't deal with money like we deal with money. This shit they print. The shit that we use and call money, they print it. So what is it to them? $1 billion. That shit that you got in your head that's worth something. That shit ain't worth shit. When you talk about, land, livestock, cattle, gold, silver, other precious resources and minerals, well, then you talking about something. But yeah, Bud Light ain't lose nothing. None of them companies. Whoever, Mountain Dew, Cheetos, whoever, they ain't losing no money. But yeah, brother.
Come. And again, this one says, this from 2022, PayPal and America's pending social credit system. Well, look, we here. Now, I was going to play this video from Redacted, just a couple minutes of it, because, and I'm going to put this in the chat. I ain't watched the whole thing. It dropped right before we started the lesson. Right before we see 2 hours ago, right before we started the lesson. But they started off with what we ended ours with. It says the IMF warns of bank collapse and bank runs. Now they're going into how the government is coming to the time. So even when you spend money, they're going to track what you spend it on, actually what you're spending it for. Now they played this clip of a man going in the bank trying to get $3,000 out because he want to buy a car. They ain't let him. There's no money in the bank. Everything going digital. They ain't let him. They gave him a runaround. I'm going to play that real quick and we can end it.
But this is just one of many that we're seeing where a banker refuses the customer's withdrawal who just wants some cash out of his own account. Watch this.
I can't, wait, I don't understand. What are you talking about?
So I can either give you a bank draft, or if you're going to get cash, I will need an invoice for the car purchase.
Why? No, I'd like to, the car's payments for in cash. I can't use a bank draft.
Are you buying from like a private?
Yeah, it's private.
person?
It's literally from my friend.
From your friend?
Yeah, but he wants it in cash.
Can he give you like anything that you purchase from him?
How rude.
No, you don't need that. Bro, what is it? I'm only asking for 3. What is this? It's my money. I'm allowed to withdraw from my own bank account.
Yeah, so
You said what's the maximum limit you can give a withdrawal to a customer? It's $3,000 on the day. You've already mentioned that multiple times.
Yeah, not today.
Why not today?
Today I would need a bank draft, or I would get you invoice.
But what you need proof of what it is? Why is that? And why is that? Why is that? Why do you need me to tell you what it is? What kind of proof is that? I bring in a note? Like how is that? What is that going to change? I don't understand.
So that would
You need to give my money.
buying.
I'm not taking a bank draft. I would like cash, please.
Yeah, I won't be able to give you.
I won't be able to give you
I'm just gonna
cash
sit here
today.
until you give me cash. So I'm not gonna leave.
Can you imagine this?
So you see that? So you got it.
No, I was just saying, yeah, this is America. I've been seeing this coming. As a black man, shit, we already catch hell trying to get money out the bank. But yeah, this been a long time coming, man. People gonna find out, well, for one thing, the dollar is worthless. So, ain't nobody accepting it. China just said, I think a week ago, that from now on, they doing all trade with, I think the yuan or whatever the BRICS dealing with, that's what they dealing with. They not dealing with no more US dollars. And Jim Willie said months ago that you got, I believe it's 11 billion, it might be trillion, maybe 11 trillion worth of treasury bonds coming up due in June, and you're gonna see a whole nother, it's really gonna shift into gear. So you're gonna see more wars escalating and more loss of freedoms here in America, because it's gonna be some type of coup go down here real soon, or it might just be another shutdown, because they are pushing, you didn't go into the zombie shit, but they saying now the cicadas have some type of STDs, some type of bacteria, STD that they gonna be carrying. I posted it on my YouTube.
Okay.
Then they talking about monkeypox coming back, a mutated form of monkeypox. And then you still got this bird flu that they talking about. So we might be looking at another shutdown. You know, all things are on the table right now. So, you know, yeah, it's the time to get right with the Most High. But yeah, shit, yeah, they got everybody in the trick bag because now everything is direct deposit. Your money goes straight to the bank. So you know, we don't touch cash no more. So they already got everybody in the trick bag. We just basically working for free. We've been working for free. But yeah, that was it.
I'm about to throw your channel in the chat, but it just asked for it. And two, we got to get your channel connected too.
That's on the post, yeah, in the community section.
I got it right here. This is channel. This is Advertiser personal page right here. Baba Kashaya, subscribe, tune in, you know, much edification. We're gonna have to get it connected to the StreamYard too, Advertiser Pod.
Yeah,
so go live is off mine, the camp page, and yours. So
all right, we do.
But yeah, that's his page. So, but now that's pretty much it. You could take us out if you want.
Come on, brother. Yeah, I guess that's it then. Yeah, that's it. Well, shit, with that, man, we pray that you brothers and sisters were edified. And again, we like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. You brothers stay up, stay strong. To the next one, Shalom.
Shalom. The water for tuning in. Shalom.